So Anna said, my question is, how do I get to Island C? Here's my niche. Chick fly pants were made so women can pee more easily with discretion, functionality, and while wearing gear. Cool. Now, how do you mean Island C? First, Anna, where are you calling from today?
Hi. I just want to thank you so much for all your detailed work before I go on. I kind
Oh,
of found you a couple weeks ago, and I've watched so many of your videos and done so many of your free things so far. So I'm really excited to continue to learn from you.
oh, well, bless you. Thank you for saying so. I know the feeling. I've had that. Well, I'm sure we all have. You know, you come across something that's your new favorite thing, and you just can't believe your good fortune, and you kind of binge on it for a while. So I've
Yeah.
I've certainly been there. So I'm
So I'm
glad.
in Mendocino County in Ukiah, California.
Okay, I used to live down in Santa Cruz, California. I had a bunch of
Yeah.
friends who trimmed weed up in Mendocino in the day.
Yep.
Still going on, I imagine.
Kind of not. Legalization's kind of changed the culture, unfortunately. So, but
Uh,
it's a little trimming still going on.
Now, okay, so I'm not sure I understand the question about Island C.
I know I've learned already more in this call, so I'm going to change it. But basically, I went through your island exercises and I decided that my product, which is pants with a fly that work for women, and it's a pull apart zipperless fly, is
Yeah.
kind of on Island C because people on Island A aren't going, oh, I need pants with a fly that work for women. They might think of a P funnel, or they might just think it's an anatomical issue they can't solve and not try to solve the issues associated with peeing. But what I realized on this call, when you asked the question, define your problem in 3 words, is that I cannot define my problem in 3 words. What I have instead been doing in my marketing is I market through stories because there's a lot of different niches where people need these flies. And my niche, which is that I've been discriminated against as a hydrologist and engineering contractor based on bathroom access, is not most people's niche. So
Yeah,
that's where I'm coming to you from.
I hear you. Okay, I've got your back on this. It's your problem is actually different than you think it is. First of all, here's a playlist of videos I've done on things that are relevant to marketing products, which is different than marketing a service. So let me lay out the difference here.
Okay.
Um, if you have a service, your ideal client is on island A with a problem. They want to be on island B where there's a result they're craving. And your business is like a boat that could take them from one island to the other island. You're the captain of the boat. Yeah.
Mhm.
If you sell a product, you are selling the boat.
Oh, okay.
Now, it doesn't mean that there's not an island A and island B, but as you've yourself noticed, there's multiple island A's, there's multiple island B's, like there's multiple groups, there's multiple kinds of situations in a way. One product might appeal like I mean, yes, it solves a problem of Island A, I'm wearing clothes that are restrictive, I'm being discriminated against, and all this. But there might be multiple groups that are facing it. It's not like there's one clear target market.
Very
If
much.
you've got superfood elixir bar restaurant, there's going to be tons of people interested in that. There'll be the foodies, there'll be the vegans, the yogis, the people who have heart conditions. Their doctor said eat healthier. You got all sorts of different subgroups, but they're all interested in the same boat. They're all interested in the same thing. So that's the first thing is to know that even when it solves a clear problem, um, people are kind of they're interested in the boat in a way that with a service I would dissuade people from leaning on. But if it's a product, the thing I want to see on the website right away is a photo of the product. If you sell pottery, I want to see photos of the pottery. I want to know about the pottery. Um, could we say that pottery solves a problem and gives a result? Yeah, I mean, you could say, well, it's really about it's a gift you give that is going to create memories, and we could do all of that, but mostly it's the product that I'm interested in. And so then you think, okay, there's going to be multiple subgroups, multiple subcategories of people. First thing I'd do is I would make a list, which you may have already done, of all
Yeah.
those groups that you can think of.
I'm like 3 years into business, so I have a website.
Well,
I have groups.
how many subgroups or target markets have you laid out so far, do you think?
There's like 4 main subgroups, but there's lots of subgroups.
Right. Okay. And from 3 years in, which of those is there one of those subgroups that seems to clearly be the dominant one?
The most common subgroup is walkers and hikers, but it's the least important. And by that I mean is walkers and hikers would like to be able to pee without going behind a bush, but it's not like critical. They can go behind a bush. The next biggest subgroup where it starts to be more critical is athletes, and we're talking marathon runners that want to shave time off their race, climbers that want to pee without removing their safety harness, kayakers that don't want to take off their spray suit, and maybe like marathon runners, like a woman ran across Tajikistan and wanted it for cultural reasons for safety. Women took a kayak to Hawaii rowing and they didn't want to take their harness off for safety reasons. So that athletic group. Then there's people with disabilities, which I haven't marketed to, but they're finding me. And then there's me, which is women in scientists and women in engineering trades that are discriminated against because of bathroom access at times, but we feel strongly about it. So I would say those walkers, hikers are kind of like the biggest. It's the most common thing, but just not the biggest need or the biggest passion behind it.
Which do you think which, if you look at those four, what percentage of your revenue so far is coming from which?
I would say 90% is coming from walkers and hikers and athletes, the combined of those two. But I think the disability market has huge potential. I just haven't had the money to do the research and development to tap it. And I think that because I have a really strong story about my personal experience with gender-based discrimination, that's where I can like really lean in and pull people in because I feel passionate about it. So I'm using all four of them, maybe the least with disabilities.
I
But
see.
engineering and science in the outdoors overlaps well with hiking and outdoor stuff because it's all outdoor and has to do with functionality. So it's kind of been easy for me to tie that together.
Great. The general thing I would say is, if there's a group that you're getting a lot of response from, it's good to just get that dialed because
Yeah.
that becomes the bread and butter, that becomes the foundation, and then you can explore, maybe some of these other groups. But
So the outdoors market, women in the outdoors, adventurous women, that's my market. That's what I've been going for.
yeah, great. So that sounds fantastic. So is there a question you have, or what's on your mind that you'd
Well,
want?
I think you answered my question is I don't need to state one problem in 3 words because I was worried about that. And then the last question is the main question I came for was I feel like my product's not on island B, it's on island C, but maybe that doesn't apply anymore because it's actually a boat.
Right, they're not craving. They're not sitting at home thinking, if only I had pants that would let me
But that's
pee.
still the problem is that when they have a problem, they're not craving it. And I have a hard time concisely getting them there. And that is still the problem because it's still an island C solution. And
Yes,
every time
right.
I suggest it, they're like, well, what about this problem? What about a zipper? You might zip your genitals. Or what about, like, they always come up with problems. And I can't state the solutions to all the problems in like a single ad.
I got it. So, right. So this is, let me just, so there's an ebook I've got called The Art of Relevance where I talk about island A, B, and C, because there is a bit of an island C thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so okay, right. So island A, my lawn looks really shitty. Island B, I got a landscaper and they've gussied up my lawn. But island C is you have a permaculture food forest. So you see what I'm saying? The island A is real. People experience this. Oh God, I'm embarrassed by my lawn. It looks terrible. Island B, they're aware of, but Island C, a food forest, most of them have never heard of permaculture. The notion of a food forest is totally foreign. So they're
Mm-hmm.
not craving it. They're not, you know, gunning for it. So then what do you do when you're selling something that nobody's craving? Nobody knows it exists. Nobody knows it's craving. So what you got to do is you've got to get in front of your ideal clients and share it with them. That's the basic
Okay.
solution. Yeah, you've got to somehow find them. And there's two ways basically to do this. There's two considerations when you're trying to find hubs. One way to find a hub is you think about the issue and you ask, okay, where do people who have that issue hang out? Because sometimes they have networks and groups that bring them together.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is the psychographics. And have you looked at my ideal client stuff?
No,
Okay.
I have it on my notes though from today.
Yeah, the ideal client webinar I would really check for everyone. I mean, this is in the new when the membership when we revamp it, this will be one of the kind of voluntarily mandatory courses that I suggest because almost nobody has really thought this through enough. But the level to think about, and if you just actually even search on YouTube, just search Tad Hargrave psychographics, some stuff will come up that'll be helpful. But is this notion of the psychographics, and the simple questions are this for all of you to think about this is like the inner realities of your people. One, what scenes or communities are they a part of? Number two, what are they into? Number three, what identities do they hold? How do they self-identify? Um, Once you really have those psychographics mapped out, then you can ask yourself, where do those people hang out? And there are hubs for the psychographics. And you because you could go in front, this is how you two ways to find your ideal clients. One, you find a group of people who have the problem and you say, hey, do any of you share these psychographics? Or any of you a part of this kind of scene or this kind of scene? Great. If you have this problem and you're part of this kind of scene, you're one of our ideal clients. Come talk to us. But the other way is you go in front of people who are in the scenes that you want to reach and you say, hey, do any of you have this problem? With the peeing thing? All right, come talk to me over here. Either way, you reach the same person. So that's the thing I'd be really thinking about is what are the hubs that reach these women, probably psychographically, because I'm guessing women are not hanging out by, I have trouble, peeing with the clothes that I wear. That's not, there's not going to be a hub for that. So if you
Right.
think of, like you say, outdoorsy women, then you think, okay, what are the partnerships we could do? And the other thing I'd recommend is I've got an ebook called Hub Marketing.
Hmm.
There's a webinar on it too. I think the ebook has more of the examples that might be helpful for you. Um, but you start thinking about collaborations that you could do where you would get in front of their people and could share something. And something else you might check out on YouTube is just search Tad Hargrave industry presentations.
Okay.
But it's this idea that there may be other products that could help women who are in the outdoorsy world who are struggling with discrimination,
Hmm.
and or safety or something. And you can come up with a collaborative presentation where everybody promotes it and everybody wins. It's like a mini little tiny
Right.
summit. And so there may be products that are kind of complementary to what you do. You don't sell them, but it's like, oh, any woman who buys our pants, we also would suggest this company that sells these things. So that could be, I mean, like a bear spray, air horns. It could be um, nice sun hats, organic sunscreens. I don't know. There could be a bunch of stuff that could be shared, but those could also be interesting collaborations. It's worthwhile for everyone to think the people who buy from me also probably spend their money here. They also buy in these other places because you can partner with these other businesses that sell things that you don't sell, and they could email their list about you and vice versa if it's a fit, and you can be introduced to each other's lists. Um, and those are some thoughts, anyways.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And it's a pleasure meeting you. Wonderful work you're doing.
You too. Thanks.
All right.